Oh, it's live, House.
The following contest scheduled for one fall.
Bloody hell, you want to hitch yourself to this caboose? You're in for a bumpy ride.
I hate your hat. I hate your t-shirts. I hate your wristbands. I hate your shoes. I hate your music. I hate the C Nation.
And then you want to walk back in here and call this place your home? This is not your home. This is my home.
Well, you don't know who you're dealing with. You are dealing with the best in the world.
You get what you have earned, and what you have earned is nothing.
This ain't no disco, ain't no country club either. This is the 3 Count Thursday podcast. So let's go, baby.
Tell him to say it to my face. Say it to my face, Bill Goldberg.
Hello, everyone. 3CT. We are live. It is Thursday, May the 1st, 2025. We're glad to be back with you for another one. Make sure you're following along with us on all of our social channels. We're at 3 Count Thursday on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Blue Sky, Twitter, TikTok. We're also have our merchandise over on our T Public store. So make sure you head over there and grab some 3CT merch. I'm sure there's some sort of a sale going on over there. If not, there probably will be tomorrow. So make sure you grab that as much as possible. We have some new stuff over there, so make sure you do check that out. Follow, like, subscribe, share with your folks. Would certainly appreciate all the support that we can get. So make sure you do that. Speaking of support, you can support us by giving us a call on our voicemail line, as Tim and Ryan are pointing and Mark is ignoring it. But you can give us a call on our voicemail, 717-473-7833. Leave us a voicemail for either show. You can do it for the Thursday show, wrestling stuff, Tuesday show, everything else. Again, 717-473-7833. And you can find that in the episode description as well, and our social media. Yes, Tim.
Let's be honest. You can leave us a voicemail about anything on Thursday.
That's true. You play it. You leave it. We'll play it. Let's just. That's going to be the deal. You leave us a voicemail. We'll play it somewhere.
And please, if you're gonna call, there's some voicemail etiquette that is needed. Your name. Hey, boys, it's me, but your name's not me. Your name is something else. Always. We don't have caller ID. You need to tell us who you are.
This is true. We can try to identify certain voices, but just tell us who you are.
Next time, if the next time a voicemail's left and you don't leave your name, we get to come up with your own name.
What if somebody wants to remain anonymous, Tim?
Well, then tell us you're anonymous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just give us something.
Fair.
Make up a name.
Well, that's a good idea. Just any name.
I don't have one. Though
Mark,
I
tip your
almost
hat,
grabbed a
damn it.
hat.
We have a comment. It says tip your hat.
Hold on. I have a hat. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Take a look at Jillian Hall.
Tim's gonna go get a hat. Oh boy, that's a choice. Devin checking in with us. Hope everyone's having a good week. I'm having a pretty good week.
Devin, thanks for
Thank
reaching
you,
out.
Devin. Charlie checking in as well. What's going on?
The Bears are growling.
The Bears are growling. Mark, well, I guess we'll start with you, despite our best interests.
You all right, sir?
You all right, sir? Hiya, Puddin'. I want to give a shout out to Puddin'.
Hiya,
Hiya, Puddin'. Well, Big Jimmy, this week my anxiety keeps on trying me. I feel it quietly trying to silence me. Yeah.
My ass.
No, my anxiety. Shake it off of me, Jim. Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety.
She was a full-time bitch.
Yeah, she was, and she probably still is. Feel like I'm stuck in a maze, Jim. I try not to feel too amazed.
Nice
Stand where I
people.
live till I lay in a grave, Jim. Sleeping on me, been up for days, Jim. Like, how you doing? Where do you lay, huh?
Oh,
Oh, Big Jim, it's just my anxiety. Oh. She couldn't even make my big toe hard, let alone anything else. And if I was the cause of that, Big Jim, good.
What is wrong?
You know
with
why?
You?
She was nothing but an old.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, boys. I've got my hat.
All right, Tim's got
If
a
you
hat.
ever had a hat.
Oh my God.
He looks beautiful.
That is so
Hey,
good.
Mark, say something stupid.
Well, then I did, but Tim's excited.
I wasn't ready for that.
So I ran out and I talked to Arnold.
How was Arnold?
Very handsy.
Good.
And I said, all the boys on the podcast have a hat. I don't have a hat. And Arnold goes, do you want a hat that makes the ears go up? And I'm like, do I ever?
Do I?
Yeah.
What question is that? Of course.
Yeah, what kind of
Wait question. I like when Tim's arms go up.
Yeah, there we go.
There he is. Look at him.
Dead Man Ink hat?
Yeah, this is a bootleg, baby.
That's awesome.
I can't wait till I get to wear this and my Repro Big Evil Red Devil shirt.
You got boner power.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you will.
Yo, good thing I don't live in Lancaster County anymore because I had to coat myself in Crisco.
Oh, jeez, you ain't
Wearing
kidding.
that combination, if I shave this up real nice and I just have the chin, I'm a fat 6 inches shorter Undertaker.
There's so much cum.
There would be. Matt, it's so hard.
Oh.
He'd be a dead
Tim,
man
now that
walking.
you've gotten the many hats out of the way.
You all right, sir?
Well, I don't like how this is fitting. Hold on. There we go.
It's got to
down.
stretch.
I'm sure it's the beanie's fault and not your head's fault.
Oh, shut up. I can't help that my head is huge because my brain is so big.
You need to shake that mop is what you need to do.
He's big brained.
Okay, Dad. Leave the follicularly challenged people out of my conversation about my lettuce.
Hey! I didn't give you shit. I just said the hat had to stretch.
I need to wash my hair. It's so god awful.
Hashtag can't relate.
I know.
He's going to wash that man right out of his hair. Send him on his way.
I'm good. I'm happy. I'm refreshed.
Good.
You look refreshed.
I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. There was a whole community puzzle that came out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was fun.
Good.
But I'm good. I'm ready to talk wrestling.
Good. Good. Well, that's what
There's a lot of wrestling to talk
What
about.
day do we talk about wrestling on this show? I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Is that huddle up? Do we have to huddle up?
Maybe Ryan.
Cuddle up.
Hello, Smokey.
Cuddle up.
Cuddle up. Hello, Smokey. Look at Smokey. That hat is done right.
Oh no! Big Jim muted him again.
I didn't mute, son of a bitch.
Unbelievable, Jim. You have one
This
job. It is to
son of a
unmute Mark.
bitch.
It is to unmute Tim. And it is to unmute me so we can all communicate on this damn podcast.
You had
And
literally
every
already
show-
said words. I didn't mute you.
No,
You know-
there's no fucking video confirming that.
You know what I
have
think
the
about
power
that?
to mute and unmute Jim. You chose not to unmute me. That's fine. I
He was
got it
upset.
myself. Don't worry.
I'm shocked.
I'm doing great.
I'm glad.
One of these weeks, Jim, you'll be able to do your duties of just unmuting 3 different people on the show.
I can't.
2 is apparently your max.
No.
Well, technically, 3's his max because he unmutes himself too.
He doesn't have his sub muted. You can hear his fat ass breathing during the intro.
That's not true. I mute my. I have a button.
It
No.
hasn't been this peaceful in forever.
I mean, I can leave if you guys want me to. I can.
He's the host. Just know if he leaves, we're done.
We can bring
Devin?
guests in. Ooh.
Devin,
Literally, you can bring a guest any week you want to bring a guest. There is no rule against guests here.
I have a guest.
You have a guest? Who's your
I
guest?
have a guest.
Oh, Jim left. He goes, "You have a guest," and left the stage.
He was upset.
Jim says, "You have a guest." And
No,
he
no,
took
no.
out.
You leave me down there. You're in charge now.
No,
My
sir.
latest.
I'll just keep doing this all day.
Hold on. I can't. There we go. My latest action figure.
What is that? Oh, is that a Kurt Angel?
Yeah, it's a Kirk Angel. It's the lighting is weird.
Yeah, the
there
light.
we go.
Holy
There
crap.
it is.
There he is.
But
Now
this
you
is
got it,
from
Smoke.
this is from the ECW 2006 run.
That's a good run.
Yeah. I almost had a fist fight with Target about it.
Why? What happened?
Today.
When yesterday, the other day. When it came in, it had a red and white barcode sticker that went from here down to here.
It was shipped, right?
It was shipped.
Yeah. They don't give a shit when they ship.
No,
it.
they don't. Luckily for them, it was very easy to remove. Because if it wasn't easy to remove, it was also going to be very uneasy to remove my foot from whoever packaged this ass.
My ass.
My ass.
Well, that one's going to get a lot of play.
It is.
That is a heavy rotation button already.
Sure is. Sure is.
Where's my lisinopril? My blood pressure is up.
Cinepro. Now, Big Jim, how are you doing? Did you know it was going to be a special day today?
I knew it was going to be a special week for me when Smokey ran up and jumped in my arms.
He did actually when the Bears scored the
Bears
empty
won.
netter last night. He did actually. It was the usher lady, Bertha. She was shocked.
Dude, she was great.
She was awesome. She's one of the best ushers I've ever had.
Freaking awesome. I wish I knew her name because I didn't care to look.
I did
she
not.
was fantastic.
It was
Yeah, she was
Bertha.
cool.
So you just
High-fiving.
made up the name Bertha?
Yeah, I made up.
She
the
looked
name
like
for
a Bertha though.
That's so mean.
Her, and then there was the lady at the section we sat in last year during the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. Last
She
year
was the crypt keeper. She
was
actually was.
She was great. She didn't care. There's some ushers up there that like take their jobs way too seriously.
Yeah.
It's
Wendy.
Well, stop trying to sneak into seats that aren't yours, and they wouldn't have to be.
I never do. I never
heavy-handed
never
about it.
have at the Giant Center. I never have at the Giant Center. I have at other arenas.
I love that you're being very, very honest. And I
Oh yeah,
have
I've
it
definitely done it at
at
other.
the Giant Center.
He's loyal to his Bears.
Charlie says his big behind jumped in my arms when
I wasn't
Machine
ready
had
for
fired
it.
off their pyro last.
Was it? That was a great show. The lead singer to Machine Head probably said the word circle pit, I don't know, 38 times.
Oh, so that's where
He was very concerned about the circle pit.
Pivot.
He also said Reading, Pennsylvania, like he wanted to drive home that he was in Reading, Pennsylvania. Get the cheap pop. I get it.
Hey man, do what you got to do.
They were entertainers, and they did a great job entertaining. Fun little show. Can't wait to go to the next metal show with Charlie.
That's all you can do. That is all you can do.
They call
All
him
right.
the Seahorse.
Let's they don't. Let's jump into the news. All right, so this week we're going to be doing some Mount Rushmore. So I actually found a Mount Rushmore news story this week. And Tim, I don't know if you had heard this one as a big Double J guy, but WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett, who's
I have not.
currently the director of business development for AEW, appeared on an episode of his podcast, My World with Jeff Jarrett. He discussed a variety of
He appeared on his own podcast.
Yeah, it was the news article was worded
yeah.
It's one of
very
those.
straight.
It's one of those times where the host is the guest.
Actually, well, now, but the funny thing is, something to wrestle with. Bruce Pritchard is not currently hosted by Bruce Pritchard.
It's
so,
hosted by JBL.
Yeah, so technically, Bruce Pritchard does not even appear on his own podcast.
Double J was a guest on our podcast.
He was at one time. You can find that in the archives.
Guest of the show.
He
Friend
was
of the
great.
show.
One thing he covered this week was his personal Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. He has Jim Londos, Lou Thez, Hulk Hogan, and John Cena. He said on the omission of Steve Austin, he said Austin had a rocket ship, got higher than anybody, but not nearly as long. It's so hard to argue with Hogan's longevity and Cena's longevity. Their runs are incredible. If Steve had stayed healthy, we're probably talking a different story.
I'll be darned.
I knew I loved Jeff Jarrett. And then he goes and he makes all the sense in the world by saying Stone Cold Steve Austin isn't the greatest of all time because his run was 4 years and that's it. The company was never hotter.
That's true.
Okay, tell me what WrestleMania that Stone Cold Steve Austin headlined where tickets were $10,000 a piece. You tell me that one.
So Cody Rhodes is...
Nah, Cody, much like Trump cashes off of the history of Joe Biden, Cody Rhodes is cashing in on Roman Reigns' hard work.
Don't be rude.
What is the WrestleMania that you were describing? Wasn't that just last year with Kevin Owens? Is that the one he main evented?
Yeah, that was 39.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
But the tickets weren't $10,000 then.
They were $9,999, you prick.
That was
I don't know about that. If they were, people would have bitched and complained about ticket prices 2 years ago, but they didn't.
Charlie says, speaking of AEW TNA news, do you hear Josh Matthews is working in the truck for Tony Khan?
Makes sense. Madison Rain works behind the scenes too.
Oh, didn't know that either.
We're learning so much news.
Yeah, so that was also some news this week. The SummerSlam ringside platinum package ticket prices, 2 nights, $40,000.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's that like super ultra mega package, right?
What's it called?
I forget what it's called. You do the journalism, but I think some people thought it was 40,000 per night. It's 40 for the whole thing. But you also get you get pre SummerSlam events. You get to be in the media room after. You get transportation to and from.
It's like a pre-box issue with like Kevin Nash was like the wrestler I saw.
It's like a pre-party with Kevin Nash and company.
Yeah. It's the on location.
I think
that's 5,000.
Long story short, this is not for the common wrestling fan.
No.
That's
it's called Elite Plus.
It's not for the really big wrestling fan.
All right, here it is.
Solely for the wealthy wrestling fan.
Elite Plus packages for front row floor centers, which is TV side for WWE SummerSlam, are $40,000 per ticket. And again, this is for both nights. You get an in-ring photo op, private transportation to the events, elite welcome event, private section at all-inclusive pre-show hospitality with superstar appearances by Kevin Nash and more, post-show press conference access, and desk photo op, tickets to both night of SummerSlam, tickets to SmackDown and Raw as well, and more. The non-front row center is just an elite package and is priced at $32,500 per ticket, which includes front row seating, in-ring photo op, the private section at the pre-show hospitality with Kevin Nash and more, post-show press conference access, and desk photo op, tickets to both nights and more. So, like, yes, you are spending a ton of money, but you are also getting like an experience that it like nobody's forcing anybody to buy $40,000 weekend events. But I saw somebody bring up a really good point too. Like when you look at like the premier tickets to the Super Bowl, like, you know what I mean? Like those tickets can hit you at 25, 30, 40,000.
So that was in my head, my little brain noodle. As soon as I saw everything, which by the way, I did a journalism on Green Shirt Guy.
He knows somebody, right?
He was assaulted by CM Punk in the stands during CM Punk's run before.
And there it is.
And he was hit by CM Punk. I think that's what happened. because
There it is.
there's a whole news article
Right.
about him.
Like there's because the thing I've said for a while is there's no way that one person ends up in the not only front row for every event, the same spot at every event.
Yeah.
Like if you know anything about ticket buying, that is an
You have to have a hookup.
Like that's a practical impossibility to just be able to do that, because even if you have that kind of fuck you money, it's nearly impossible to pull that feed off. So there you go.
Yeah.
I thought that was debunked because I read that too, Timmy.
I saw the video.
That was actually him that got hit by Punk.
It had to have been him. It looked exactly like him, except 10 years younger.
I'll be darned.
I'll have to do a journalism and find the video. I'm not going to do it here because I'm on a roll, baby. But the whole brain noodle, thinking about comparing the ticket prices of WWE premium live events to the Super Bowl. The big difference, Jim, is the Super Bowl is once a year, and WWE is going to charge these prices 4 times a year.
Yeah. If there was 4 Super Bowls, the NFL would charge it 4 times a year.
But there's not. But there's also only one WrestleMania, and that's the one I would expect the big ticket price for, not a 2-night SummerSlam in New Jersey, not even New York. New Jersey? Ugh.
Come on.
I mean,
but I get it. It's essentially, it breaks down to $10,000 per night of SummerSlam, plus a ticket for Raw, a ticket for SmackDown, plus I think your travel to and from all the events is covered, and like I don't know if lodging's included in that. It probably is.
I don't think lodging is, but
okay.
No, but we'll pick up that lift for you. It'll be a lift black, and we'll charge you a couple $1,000s for that.
No, what they're going to do is they're going to rent out 5 party buses, and they're just going to bus everybody around like WWE superstars and European tours.
Just unreal.
I mean, look,
there is no way in hell. I can't fathom how wealthy I would have to be to even consider ever dropping that much money for a fucking Summerfest.
I can't imagine spending that kind of money for a WrestleMania.
I don't know how rich I would have to be to even start to consider I'm going to part ways with $40,000 to go to any show,
any event,
sporting event, WrestleMania, anything.
Nothing.
There's not a damn thing I can think of.
You mean to tell me that I have to spend $40,000 up front to buy a house? I'll rent.
Jesus Christ himself could come back to earth, and I'm not spending that much to be ringside or stateside.
I've been talking to him.
I'm just not.
I've talked to him every night since I was 7 years old. I don't need to meet him. I know God.
Bring back Prince and Michael Jackson. I ain't even in
now
that
we're talking.
stadium.
No.
$40,000.
Bring Freddie Mercury back from the dead. I'm not spending 40. And
he can bring back Elvis
but is
and
he
Johnny
cured?
Cash too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not spending 40,000.
No, never.
Yes.
I mean, that is Mark from E-Town money, and I just don't got it.
Nope.
So, Jim, I have a question.
Yes.
The Dallas Cowboys win the suit. Listen, conditions are perfect.
Okay.
This is going to be a conditions are perfect scenario. The Dallas Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They are playing the Super Bowl in the closest stadium to you possible.
Philadelphia.
And it's super COVID seating. So you cut the size of the crowd down by to a fourth.
Okay. So
how much
bubble?
How much are you spending to watch and the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl are playing Rick Moranis's Little Giants. So it is
they were scrappy, man.
They were, but it is statistic. But you're playing the adults of the kids now. So it's not the fictional characters. It's the cast of Little Giants.
Who is
playing
the quarterback
football
for the Dallas Cowboys?
Dakota Prescott. But you're playing the actors from the Little Giants in a 1/4 stadium. How much are you paying for that ticket?
Is this Jim's current wage?
Yes.
Dude, I know Jim well enough. He's not spending over $500 for that.
But it's a guaranteed time he can see his beloved. The only time he'll ever see the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl. In a stadium that isn't filled to the gills.
It's over $300. I don't think I would.
So what did we? Okay. So we spent for two nights of WrestleMania. We probably spent what, 700-ish
plus the hotel
on tickets,
plus food, plus merch.
Dude, you know how much cheesesteaks were down there, Big Jim.
They were expensive.
You got the chicken
gas.
fries though.
You spent an easy $1,000.
I would probably go. I would probably, because here's the thing: if I'm at my like current wage, I have to convince my better half to let me do this, right? So like I could probably.
You got equity in the house; you can take it out.
No, that I don't think we can. I like it would probably be around 1,000. It would probably be around 1,000.
You're fucking cheap.
We are. So
I don't know who I'm kidding to. I make bad money decisions.
Again, I don't have a credit card. So like large purchases have to be approved.
Walking into the hockey game yesterday. So last year during the hockey playoffs, I was buying a new shirt, like a new Hershey Bears shirt every night to wear to the next game. And I said, Jim, there's no way I can afford to do that this season.
Ryan literally said that as we're walking
into the arena. The Bears won, and I walked out after buying a new shirt and a fucking jersey totaling over $200 of clothing. I make really poor decisions, Jim. I would easily spend $1,000.
And I got super jealous.
Hide money.
I had envy last night.
But also, if Ryan didn't buy a new shirt and you guys came back and the Hershey Bears lost, whose fault is it?
It's absolutely my fault.
Ryan broke the shirt. Ryan broke it. It's Ryan's fault.
Right. So the next game, we go to,
you're not making a bad financial decision. You are making a great emotional investment to the Hershey Bears.
I'm supporting the team.
There you go. It's what you can do.
And in turn, supporting your best friend.
There you go. And I appreciate that.
It's the least.
Mrs. Big Jim will be growling.
That's not appropriate.
Well, if I would have made poor financial decisions last night, that would have been accurate.
Nah, she'd have just
do it, Jim.
I wanted to, but again,
I told you. Here's the deal. How much was that jersey that you were looking at? That was $350.
Yeah.
How much is a divorce lawyer? She would have been a little upset, but she'd have gotten over it.
I'm not willing to take that risk, Ryan.
That's fair. Smart choice.
Yeah, you'll live.
You'll live.
You're like a cat. You'll land on your feet.
I don't think I will.
You're like a pussycat. Jimmy, do you know why divorce lawyers are so expensive?
Why, Mark?
Because they're worth it.
Died laughing.
That
All right.
is an e-smacker.
We gotta sweeten that bedpan up just a little bit.
We got to. It's a little.
We gotta. It's a little janky, a little cranky, a little cranksy. Bonk.
All right. All right. Let's go to this.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Come Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
He says, Matt's still on assignment this week. We'll have to get his wrestler of the week off air. Intern Mark, you know the rules. You got to lead us off.
Oh,
you got time. I haven't pulled the sheet up yet because I forgot we still do this shit.
we still do this. Oh,
I forgot.
Timmy forgot. Well, this week, let me see here. There wasn't any title changes. Yes, there was.
Okay, so why do I have this as a listed?
Mike Bailey was on.
Oh, because I didn't get anybody's shit from WrestleMania weekend.
Are you serious?
John Cena was mine.
John Cena was mine.
Okay.
I got to go with Seth Rollins this week. We had a great promo. And that's what sells tickets, Tim. That brought me into the arena.
All right. Seth Rollins with a great promo. Smokey, who do you got this week?
I have your new women's United States champion, Zelina Vega.
All right.
Titles don't matter.
Tim, who you got this week?
Oh, I wish you wouldn't have asked. I totally watched Raw. I promise I did.
I didn't.
Dude,
I watched
did.
You had Hank and Tank with a big title defense.
Hank and Tank defended the titles on NXT this week.
They sure did.
And Noam Dar won. Didn't Noam Dar win the Heritage
Noam
Cup
Dar
from
is the new
Lexus King?
Heritage. Yep. Yes, sir.
That's
Not
a great week.
Not picking him.
No. Ricky Saints retained against Lexus King.
Ricky Skaggs.
Okay, so Noam Dar won the Heritage Cup the week before.
The week before. Yeah, it's week prior.
WrestleMania
week. I had Dirty Dom, by the way. You might not have.
Oh
been here
yeah,
for that week.
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Dirty
I had
Smoke.
Dirty Dom that week.
Yeah, you have to check with Matt. I feel like he's probably going to go Drew McIntyre, but
Probably that makes a lot of sense.
But
I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm going with the Hangman Adam Page. He had a banger on AEW Dynamite with Kyle Fletcher to
Hanger with a
punch his ticket. Hanger's banger is killing it. Really a fantastic match against Kyle Fletcher to propel himself into the finals of the Owen Cup against Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing. If you didn't watch Dynamite, watch one match, the main event, Hangman Adam Page, Kyle Fletcher, they tear it up in Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, your old
native, baby.
Stomping grounds. Was that the Scope?
It was the Chartway Arena. It's where they usually run. I think the Chartway Arena is on the campus of
Chartway
Old
University.
Dominion University.
Oh, nice.
Chartway.
What, Mark?
Mark, that's not necessary.
Say it again.
I thought he said Chartway.
No, that's what happens to you when you walk home from eating chili.
Yes, it was close.
It was close, he said.
It was close.
Now, when you get to that point, are you trying to make it upstairs or downstairs?
Well, I stopped. They moved the porta potty down the street a little, so I'll just stop in there.
I hate you so much.
I have every right to use that porta potty.
Stop it. We're not doing this again.
No, we've done this for 3 weeks now. This is the third week.
It's over. That shit. What the hell is that drawing, Mark? Wait, Tim, can we get a full screen on Mark here?
Yeah,
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
that's Old Smoke.
Bam.
With his cowboy hat.
It should be podcasting done all right.
Yeah, mediocre at best.
Actually, that feels like a shirt.
Oh, shit, I kicked Mark out. I don't know what I'm doing actually.
I fixed it. Podcast is done all right.
There we go. Podcasting done all right. I feel like. Can we get him? Oh no, I want Mark.
No, that's you.
No, how do I
That's
wait?
Jimmy.
How do,
That's
how
the
do I-
host.
No,
Jim, you're there.
How do I put Mark up there?
There we go.
Oh, now I know how to do it. Okay, look at me learning. There you go. Podcasting done all right. I feel like that's a shirt.
That's a beautiful shirt.
I like that.
It feels like a great shirt idea.
Feels like
Timmy,
we're
I never-
trying, and we know we're not great, but we're still giving it
We all right.
All right.
an effort.
We're
We
putting
all right.
forth some effort.
We put
I gotta
Forth
give
some effort.
Not a lot.
I gotta get Timmy that picture when Smokey took out the squirrel.
When
We went to make a shirt of that. Do you remember that when you took out the squirrel?
No, I didn't take a squirrel out.
Yeah, you did. 'Cause
Wait,
that
like
day you
took him
showed
out, like hit him
violence.
with a car, or took him
You
out
hit him
like
with
on
a
his
car.
feet?
I think it was a squirrel. Maybe it was a rabbit. You hit a squirrel with a car. You took him out. I'll go find the draw ring. I'll have the date on it.
God, it's creepy that he just has a book of Smokey drawings. All right, Mark, we got
If I
to.
ever go missing, y'all know why.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
know where he is.
Absolutely.
Old Smoke.
That body.
All right, let's Mark put the rubber stamp on it.
That was your wrestler of the week.
Who did you pick?
Oh, I'm my bad. Zelina Vega. Sorry.
Zelina Vega. She's the new U.S. Women's Champion.
We try.
We try. See,
Titles matter,
podcasting
Tim.
done all right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Done okay. It's they all right.
Podcasting done averagely.
There we go. They make up the word.
They all right, Tim.
So these are actually two topics that I think Ryan, you and I discussed off air. You kind of brought them up. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. The first one is, and it's the first of two Mount Rushmores that we are assembling this evening.
I
The
should have
first
done homework.
well, I'll stall a little bit.
How do I ask for homework and then not do the fucking homework?
And I told you on Monday that this homework was coming. Actually, I think I sent this message on Sunday, by the way.
Well, Sunday's the Lord's Day. That's why we didn't get it.
And that's not what it is. But the first one is an individual. So each one of us are going to bring our own to the table. And it is a Canadian wrestling Mount Rushmore. But you cannot use any member of the Hart family.
The Stu is out.
Stu out.
What about
Martha's out.
What about Teddy?
Teddy's out.
Definitely out.
What about Natty?
Natty would be out.
What about Natty?
Out.
What about Natty? Thank you.
Out.
What about the British Bulldog? Out.
Out. Because he.
What about Jim the Annavale?
He would be out because he married in.
He married in. What about Georgia? She's out.
She would be out. She is a Hart.
What about Keith?
Out.
He's out. What about
Hart
Tito?
team?
Tito Hart.
I don't think
Not
there
a
was.
real Hart.
I don't think there was a Tito Hart. Okay.
What about Smith?
Smith would be out.
Smith Hart.
What about Brian?
Close.
There wasn't a Brian.
Very close.
Fuck.
So Mark made up a fake name. Ryan got it wrong. Tim, you're gonna keep this going, or are we just gonna start with our lists?
I would, but the name I want to say is a dumb name. You mean Stu and Helen Hart had 9 months to name a kid, and the best they could come up with was Bruce?
There it is, Bruce.
Well, I'll take Bruce over Smith. Smith.
Old Smith. Nope. Charlie the Blue Blazer would also be out.
Ooh.
What about the red blazer, Jim? You always look good in red.
Lady
I would look like a
Red.
couch if I wore a red blazer. Are you kidding?
You look like a Davenport.
I would look awful.
More like a box of Newports.
If I wore that, I wouldn't go
That's
anywhere near
green.
1600 Pennsylvania Ave. I know that much.
There'll be people sitting on you.
All right, so let's kick it off. Who is Mark? Who is first on your Canadian wrestling Mount Rushmore?
Canadian wrestling, and it can't be a Hart.
Heartless. This is a heartless
Gotta
Canadian
have Hart.
wrestling Mount Rushmore.
Well, you gotta have one of my favorites. Cope.
Cope.
Christ.
Cope.
This motherfucker starts with Cope.
You've got to. How could you not have Cope on your
You
actually?
gotta have
Cope on
Cope
my
on
list.
there.
He's not on my list either.
C-O-P.
Cope is not on my
I
list.
can tell you this: I do not have Cope on my list.
I
don't
also
know
I don't have Edge or Adam Copeland on my list.
I do not.
I do have Etch on my list. I will say that. I do have Etch, but I do not have Cope. Cope? I don't know who this Cope is. He ain't on my list.
So on your Mount Rushmore, you are etching Etch.
I am etching Etch on mine. Not the first name I have down, but since Mark named him, I'll put him up
That's
there
fair.
as my first that I name. Tim, who since you don't have Cope or Edge or Adam Copeland, who do you have first on your list?
I'm gonna see if y'all let this slide because he's actually not Canadian, but he was a member of Team Canada. Taking prime. If you let me, I'm taking primetime Elix Skipper.
You know what?
He is absolutely from New York.
I will let Ryan make the call since this is Ryan's topic technically.
Felix Skipper, yes or no, Smoke?
I feel like that
Elix Skipper
doesn't quite meet the requirements.
That's kind of how I feel because he is not Canadian.
But he fought and bled and he didn't die, but he fought and bled for Canada.
Yeah, but didn't he also fight and bleed for Team Canada in the Impact Zone in Orlando?
No, he was not.
I mean,
he was not a part of the TNA Team Canada because those are actually effing Canadians. So if you will not let me have primetime Elix Skipper, I will take a person who might show up on another Mount Rushmore, probably not mine, but I am taking Bobby Roode.
Bobby.
Ryan, who you got first?
That's a great question, Jim. Great
question. Great question.
I'm gonna get my lady out of the way.
Lady.
Because I think a lady deserves to be up here. I'm going to put Trish Stratus.
You know what? I fucked up and I didn't put a single lady on my goddamn list.
On my beautiful Mount Rushmore picture. We're gonna start with Trish.
Beautiful. Charlie,
Beautiful.
just like you, Ryan.
I can't have Bob Roode and not have Trish. I'm taking
started off.
No, you have Bob Roode. Sorry.
I didn't.
Don't be rude.
You can't edit a mountainside.
I just did.
Devin starts it off with Crispin.
You know what? Arguments can be made.
Yeah, and they're all bad.
Right. Like, I get it. If you are just talking about wrestling.
I mean, if Chris Benoit doesn't do the whole murder-suicide thing, he's probably up there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the problem is...
There it is.
The period at the end of his entire sentence called life is eating 2 chocolate bunnies and his own.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude loved chocolate bunnies.
Here's
the deal.
He was starved for it.
If Tim is keeping off Stone Cold Steve Austin because he had a short period of work. Now, Benoit had a longer period, but Benoit, his career was unceremoniously cut short.
I wouldn't say it was unceremoniously cut off. It was very ceremonious because there was Bibles by the bed and
I'm saying, I mean, there was
a text conversation about dogs in the enclosed pool area.
Oh God. Okay. Devin clarifies. Okay. This makes me feel a little bit better. He says he's not on his list. He was asking if he was allowed because he trained at the Hart Dungeon.
Oh yes. He's not a Hart.
You have to be either
realistically, Neidhart's not in. He was born in California.
Right. Yeah. But you couldn't, he married into the family. So even if you're Canadian, you marry into the family.
Right. Yeah.
You would
Chris
be out
Benoit's
because
fine
you're
because
the
he
family.
was born in Canada. Yeah.
Right. So Chris Benoit would be allowed in.
But
if you wanted to put
and you clearly put him in, and because we called you out, you're taking him out, and that's fine. If Tim's gonna edit his mountain, you can edit your mountain.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Trish Stratus.
There you go.
Trish
All right.
Stratus. Yes.
I will kick us off with the second round because I also have Trish Stratus on my Mount Rushmore.
All of Jim's answers.
It's okay. It's
There's
okay.
not
That's
a huge pool to pick from.
I think there's a bigger pool than you.
Bigger than you think. Yeah.
I think there is.
There's a
I think
big
I have.
pool.
I think I have a really good list.
All right. So Mark, who is second on your list?
Well, I was going to save this one for later, but since everybody else is picking it, I got to go with Trisha Stratton.
He tried so hard for that.
You've reached. How's your
Reached so hard. At your age,
How's
Mark,
your-
you shouldn't be reaching that hard.
How's your labrum?
Time.
All right, Tim, who is second on your?
You know, people make jokes about it all the time, but you know, his middle name starts with T, and the T stands for thunder. Taking Lance Storm.
Lance Archer.
Lance Storm.
Lamps. I thought we only had one.
Serious for a minute. All right, Ryan, who is second on your list?
Second on my list, if we're working, of course, right to left, looking at a beautiful mountainside, I'm going to put, some people will argue, is the greatest professional wrestler of this generation. I'm going to carve out Kenny Omega. Put him
Solid.
up there on the mountainside.
Birthday twin. I'm sad I didn't pick him.
You can edit your choice.
I already made my one edit.
He's made the edits. All right. Mark, why don't you kick us off? Because I didn't have Kenny Omega on mine.
You didn't?
I did not. Mark, why don't you kick us off? Who's third on your
What
list?
about Patrick Patterson?
Oh, he is. He's
Yeah,
French
that's
Canadian.
a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
Mark,
one.
a little known
I
fact. Mark
completely
was,
forgot about all the fucking French Canadians.
yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, Mark only picked Pat Patterson because little known fact, Mark was actually in Brazil the night that Pat Patterson won the Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
That's bogus.
He got his and he had ringside tickets that didn't cost $40,000.
No, back then they did. They were like $12, and that was American money.
That's
Down there
inflation.
in,
Yeah, and you had a good exchange rate down there.
Yeah, it was like
let's
14
see.
cents.
Charlie's second was the Mountie.
Oh,
Hey, why wouldn't you?
Another
Mount-
French
I was-
Canadian.
Shocking.
he's the Mountie.
Shocking. Shocking, did you say?
Shocking.
Shocking.
Devin had Trish and Lance Storm as his first two. Trish
Lance Archer.
and Lance Storm. Tim, who's third on your list?
Well, he could be on a lot of Canadian Mount Rushmores. He could be on a Canadian wrestling Mount Rushmore. He could be on a Canadian music Mount Rushmore. He could be in a Canadian wife is a January 6th insurrectionist Mount Rushmore. I'm taking Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
That is hard to argue. Chris Jericho also on my list.
You fathead.
Chris Jericho
Fathead.
also on my list.
They're doing the sign.
That is third on my list. Chris
So
Jericho.
everybody has 3 off their list. We all have 1 remaining. Is that
We
correct?
all have 1 remaining. Charlie picked Kevin Owens as his third. Devin says my third pick, a little controversial, Kevin Owens. I don't think that's
Chris Benoit. He said it. I heard
at
it.
all.
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, Mark, who is last on your list?
This is tough. I'm torn between a few. I had my list. Now I'm getting upset. I'm upset.
Which he's going to reach out and grab a name. What's it going to be, Mark? What's it going to be, boy?
I was leaning towards Iron Mike Sharp with that bad forearm. But
he was sharp too.
He was extremely sharp.
Canada's greatest wrestler.
One of the greatest. What about the model Rick Martel? Before
Little Ricky.
That's a good one.
A darn good
former
choice.
AWA champion.
Pretty Ricky.
A little can of arrogance.
Can of Arrogance. I was really leaning towards Dino Bravo as well.
If there was a wrestle merch brand or bootleg brand or whatever that made, even if they were 3D printed plastic or something, but had the Can of Arrogance, you can bet your ass that I would fucking buy one and put it in the back here as a display.
The
I
atomizer.
just don't know anybody that 3D prints things.
No, I don't know
You'll
nobody.
never get one.
Nah,
Never get one.
no, heck no. Tim, who's your fort?
Wait, we know
Uncle.
somebody who 3D prints stuff?
I just said I don't.
Wish.
Oh.
Actually, I just got a
Good
small
wink.
collection from somebody who 3D prints stuff last night at trivia.
Holy cat.
A small collection of animals.
That's
Those
great.
those were for you.
Cool.
Yeah, nice animals.
Great story, Mark. My last pick is going to be the other half, the better half of Mark's first pick. Taking Christian Cage.
Tito Santana.
There you go. It's a good one. Made my honorable mentions or
Christian.
Ryan.
So Jim, on yours, Christian's on the back side of the mountain. Is what you're?
Yeah.
Shit, we put him on the wrong side.
Damn it.
What's that face?
This was always my number one choice to put on this Mount Rushmore. Easy for me to say. Hailing from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, the easiest choice possible, Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Roddy Piper was my number one on my list. Absolutely.
No, wait a minute. He's from Scotland.
No, he's from Canada.
He's from Canada.
God damn it.
He's from Canada.
Fucking Mark broke my goddamn brain.
He wrestled under the name The Masked Canadian. He's so Canadian, Mark.
Yeah.
So did the Miz. He was the Calgary Flame.
He was.
Can't do that
He still
anymore.
is.
No.
Maurice likes when he does that.
Let's see. Devin had Etch as number 4 on his list.
The big Etchman.
Charlie had
5'7".
Pat. I assume that also means Pat. Now,
It's
Mark,
Pat
were you,
from the SNL.
Mark, were you sitting next to Charlie at the show in Brazil when he won the Intercontinental, or
Sitting next to Charlie.
yeah?
He was one over.
I didn't know if
We
you
were
guys
close.
knew each other back then or not.
Yeah, we went way back. My dad was in between us.
I
He had to
believe.
keep getting up to use the restroom.
Well,
OD.
you know, it's
Yeah,
was a
you
long-
would put him. You wouldn't put him in at the end seat. Why would you do that?
No, it was a long flight. It's beautiful this time of year.
Fucking Mark!
Gosh.
All right, so that is our Canadian wrestling Mount Rushmore.
That was a good one.
A lot of good choices. So now this one is going to be a little bit different. So
What do you
we're gonna make a Mount Rushmore, but it has to. It's a group project. We're gonna have to agree on the 4.
We don't agree
All right.
on.
We
shit.
don't agree on much.
We can't agree where to get lunch.
Hosses.
That's true. Let's go.
Hulk Hoagies.
Let's go. I'm hungry.
I want one of those hoagies real bad.
Boy, I wish they did trivia there. That'd be fun.
It would be nice. I wish I
Well,
got
hell.
invited. I wish I got invited to trivia there if they did it. But so we're doing a TNA Wrestling Mount Rushmore. TNA Wrestling. Where we need to agree on the 4 that we put in. So we can throw out some nominees.
This is gonna take an hour.
No.
You don't think we can do it in 6-ish minutes?
I don't think we can do it in 6 minutes. I think we can get close. I really do. There are, I think, some dead giveaways. I think we can all agree on 2 right
Dead
off the rip.
giveaway.
Brother,
Yeah, giveaway.
if I gave you my Mount Rushmore right now, I bet it'd be unanimous.
Let's
Who's yours?
let's throw your first name out. That's going to be unanimous, Tim.
AJ Styles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Carve his
He's
ass
on my
up there.
list.
There you go. Uncle Alan locked on.
We only got 3 more to go.
There you go.
Easy.
See, we're 75% of the way there.
AJ Styles, easy lock.
Locked
Easy.
in.
Easy.
All right, here's your next one,
this
Tim.
This is a lock. Kurt
Double
Angle.
J, Jeff
Oh.
Jarrett,
Oh, see, I
the
didn't.
founder.
I have Double J on mine as well.
That's a good point. We don't have TNA now for Jeff Jarrett.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Put him on, and he was champion, multi-time.
Yeah.
Boy, did he create the fucking
King of the Mountain?
The King of the Mountain match, right?
Yes, he is the King of the Mountain.
Fucking Double J, lock him in.
No, he launched that under NWA, Total
TNA?
Nonstop Action, and then branded away from the NWA and made a successful run as just TNA.
Yes.
I agree with Jeff Jarrett. Made my list. Mark?
He wasn't on my list, but I can't not agree.
Yeah,
So I have to
thinking-
agree.
I think that's good.
There's two.
Okay,
We're halfway
I'm 2
done.
for 2.
Halfway.
We're gonna be done before the hour.
I'll say halfway. We're 2 minutes in.
Okay.
Who's third?
Here's
Tim?
number 3. You don't have a knockouts division without Gail Kim.
She was on my list. Same reason.
Gail Kim.
I don't have a lady on my list.
I had Mickey James as the top knockout on my list.
You wouldn't
But
have a Mickey James if it wasn't
Gail
for a
Kim.
Gail Kim.
Gail Kim was the first knockout Hall of Famer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can go Gail Kim. I think you do need a lady on because the knockouts division is a huge part of TNA history.
Yep.
Smoke.
Smoke's
What do you
little,
say, Smoke?
Smoke's debating.
What do you think?
I'm not unanimous yet on that.
Okay.
I really.
So let me give you my fourth.
I'll say what's
In
your
case-
What I want
fourth?
to hear.
My fourth is Kurt Angle.
Absolutely.
I have Kurt second on my list.
His run in TNA is longer
Yep.
than his run in WWE. And I would dare say he has just as many great matches in TNA as he does in WWE.
And I feel like he and this is no slight to TNA and what they were doing pre Kurt Angle, but I feel like Angle brought a different level of legitimacy to TNA that I think helped them at that time in a huge way.
A 6-time TNA champion, the inaugural one as well. A 1-time X Division champion. I missed that.
It was when he won all the titles.
A 2-time tag team champion. Once with AJ Styles, once with Sting. A King of the Mountain twice. The second ever TNA Triple Crown winner. A TNA Hall of Famer. This is prime Kurt Angle as well. Like I think you can look at that as well.
Mark's the only one hasn't agreed yet.
I had Samoa Joe, but I could be swayed to Kurt Angle.
Samoa Joe was my fourth.
Okay.
But I would,
which would have kept Gail Kim out. But I'm not opposed to a woman. Kurt Angle, I think, has to. That's one I wouldn't concede. I would concede Samoa Joe for the lady then, for the ladies.
So let's go. Let's go. Kurt.
I go with Kurt.
We have AJ, Double J, and Kurt.
And
I'd be all right with
Smokey just said he would trade Joe for Kim.
I think that's a solid Mount Rushmore for TNA.
Gail Kim.
Done.
If it was a 5-person, Gail Kim would have been my fifth. I will say that absolutely no question.
And Joe would have made my list. There's a couple of honorable mentions that are out there that I feel like should be named.
Yeah, let's toss some of them around. We still have a couple of minutes here.
Yes.
Christopher Daniels, Fallen Angel.
I would say Tara would be on the list.
Yeah, Victoria, Tara. That's one.
Sting.
Stang. Yep.
Like
Stang, a 4-time TNA champion.
Sting's run in TNA was longer than his run in WCW, right?
It's hard to
Years,
believe.
yes,
if you
matches,
don't
no.
count like the NWA and that stuff and Jim Crockett prior to WCW.
Still, Sting WCW starts in 1991. He's there for 10 years.
Okay.
And he's literally on every show wrestling at least once until from 1991 until Fall Brawl 96. And then he takes an entire year off to be in the rafters.
That's wild. Devin has somebody that I had on like a list of names.
Abyss goes up there. I mean, he's
like
definitely
among like the TNA greats. I think it's hard to crack him into the Mount Rushmore.
Never was a TNA world champion. I think
Yeah,
that
he was.
would disqualify.
Technically the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, but that was TNA.
Yeah, I'm looking specifically at TNA. That's where I counted Kurt 6 as well.
Big Mac just checking in with us. He said his Canadian Mount Rushmore: Lance Storm, Trish Stratus, Edge, and Josh Alexander. Oh,
interesting.
There you go.
Two-time TNA champion over
for the walking
300
weapon.
over 300-day reign.
But yeah,
Jeff Hardy, I think you could throw up there. Some of his
Jeff
solo
Hardy's
shit
a
there was
great TNA.
I mean, there's also a
Ron the
really
Truth
big-
Killings.
I had Ron Killings on my list, man. I really did.
Who else is on my who's on my my honorable mentions?
think the
Petey Williams.
Petey, sure.
Petey, good old Petey.
I mean, I had like James Storm.
Big James
Yeah.
Storm.
For
I would've put Bob-
AMW and Beer Money.
Yeah.
Beer money.
Beer money.
It's hard to not think about this, at least for modern years, but EC3.
That's a great point.
Good one.
Yes. What about
Bob
the Awesome
Lashley?
Kong?
Bob Lashley
Really reinvented himself in TNA.
his run in TNA longer than his first run in WWE.
Yeah.
Bob.
I mean, Bob Roode is up there. I had him in my Canadian Rushmore until I remembered Trish Stratus was a person. Who else was like a really good?
I had Mickey James on my list. Christian Cage.
I would have picked. I would have picked Christian, but his time with TNA was a short time, but a good time.
His
So
only
it's the
TNA
Steve-
championship happened as an AEW wrestler.
Yeah, he was NWA champion before. He,
No, I'm sorry, as an AEW wrestler, I believe. His recent
Yeah.
run, I guess that would have been Impact.
because
They
he
were doing
beat
that.
Ken Omega for the title.
Right.
See, I
You guys
love
know
Monty
Mick
Brown.
Foley
My
was
Big
a
Mac is Monty Brown.
Foley.
TNA champion.
Monty
Yeah,
Python was there.
Mick Foley had one of the greatest promos ever about the title. He wins the title and he goes on record and he goes, everybody's talking about how I need to defend this title every 30 days. It's a championship, not a menstrual cycle. I will defend this title once a year.
He lost it 63 days later.
He lost it in his first defense, I think.
Again, probably just like time of run, like doesn't crack the Mount Rushmore. But I think if you're talking really recently, Jordan Grace.
Yes.
Yeah, Jordan Grace. Also, another
Jordan
person.
never won the TNA World Championship, but another female did.
Yes.
Are you trying to double down on some
I
big
am
Chris
not.
Benoit
I am
energy?
not. I'm just making a point. If we're going to include Jordan Grace,
So
Jordan Grace.
I'm gonna piggyback on your logic because the person I was gonna bring up is also somewhat of a dog shit individual.
Bad Place Hall of Famer.
But it's hard to think TNA and not think Moose.
I think Moose is an option. I really
Wow.
I thought you were going to go Austin Aries.
I'm not talking about option C.
If we're
Fuck
also
that
talking
guy.
bad people.
I
Fuck that
honestly
guy
thought you were going to
forever.
bring up Hulk Hogan
Oh no.
because for some reason they had the audacity to think they were going to run Monday nights.
There's a reason why on the side project I'm working on, we're stopping at the night that Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff took over TNA.
Speaking of Hogan and Bischoff,
Right?
you see the little project they're working on right now?
Dog,
Yeah.
people are barely watching the UFC. You mean to tell me we're watching freestyle wrestling? Where's the ropes?
Nope.
I can't wait.
8 different weight classes? Get out of here.
All divided by 7 pounds apiece. Amateur wrestling weight classes are a joke.
That fucking like promo video that like the NWO like I'm like, dude, this is one of the cringiest things.
Yeah, that was rough.
It should have just been a commercial for the beer.
That's kind of what I thought it was, and then when I realized it wasn't, I was like, oh my god, they're actually doing something. I thought it was going to be another fucking Conrad podcast. I'm like, really? Connie's getting into the fucking Bischoff Hogan business?
You know.
Did you see that Hulk Hogan
over there at adfreeshows.com?
You saw Hulk Hogan is allowed the named guy on Scores now?
Really?
The bar, the sports bar Scores in New York City in Times Square is now Hulk Hogan's Scores.
Back to TNA names. Bully Ray.
I don't have to go.
No, I don't.
No, Bully Ray's a good
Scores
one too.
was a strip club. Now it's something else.
It used to be a club, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a club.
Well, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Good job, boys.
There we go. Look at us. Look at us.
Blue
We get it done. We got it done before the hour, but
see you next week.
Anything else, boys?
Enjoy us. Tune in Tuesday, Devin. We've got a big surprise for you.
Big surprise for Devin. He's gonna love it.
We don't.
That's
what you think.
Wink.
No surprise. Best surprise.
Well, boys, thanks for playing along. Thanks for everybody playing along in the comments. We always appreciate you. We hope there you go, Tim. Primetime Elix Skipper.
Primetime's here.
There you go.
Primetime Elix Skipper.
Jesus, thank you, Mark. Make sure you're following along with us on all of our social media at 3 Count Thursday on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube. You can also grab our merch over on our TeePublic store. You can get all of these links on the link tree. It's on all of our social channels as well. So while you're there, giving us a follow, make sure you go ahead and do that. Interact with us. Leave comments. Leave a voicemail, 717-473-7833. You can also do that get that number in the episode description of all of our shows. So again, we always appreciate the support. We'd love to hear from you. Tuesday show, Thursday show, doesn't matter. Drop a voicemail. Until the Tuesday show, when we get back on the sad songs bracket and more, and we'll be back here live next Thursday night. We hope you stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the pin.